Coming up on 5:59 this morning, the Zags took a little break from the court yesterday to visit the zoo. They tweeted out this video of the team hanging out at the Indianapolis Zoo, and the Bulldogs got to see everything from those stingrays to cheetahs to porcupines. I think we could all agree that that's a pretty awesome break to take from the madness. But today, they're headed back to work as the Zags prepare for their game against Creighton in just 4 days. Tip-off for the big game is at 11:10 a.m. on Sunday, March 28th. That's a good way to start your day, and you can only start it that way on KREM 2.
Oh, I am so excited.
I know, me. And you know what? We were talking about it yesterday. This is their best, the best team they've played so far in the tournament. It's going to keep getting tougher, but they've been dominating by like clear double digits. So maybe this mental break is part of the formula, Jeremy, wouldn't you think?
I think that is. I think you need rest days. Rest days are important. Dana Marie, do you take rest days as your, wait, okay.
Yes, I'm just knocking on wood right behind me because Joshua, I know that we're going to do really, really well, but I'm just knocking on wood for us. Absolutely. No, I think being able to go and have some fun at the zoo is the best way to kind of get your mind off the game, and then they could refocus because there's so much pressure around these games, but maybe having a little bit less people in the audience, 25 capacity, will actually help them succeed in a little bit less pressure in the actual arena.
As I was watching the video, Dana Marie, I was just hoping they didn't stumble across some Blue Jays and start talking some trash to create, if you're going to get your mind off it, get your mind off it.
Do they have Blue Jays? They probably have Blue Jays at zoos.
I don't know.
I haven't been to a zoo in so long.
They have porcupines, though. Jeremy,
right.
I like porcupines,
I love porcupines. Guys, porcupines are like my favorite animal. It's up there. It's way up there.
Tell us more. Tell us more, Jeremy.
Basically, think of it this way. Porcupines are really awesome. They're kind of friendly, but don't pet one. Don't go near a wild animal. That's your pro tip for this morning. But they have little hands, and one time I was out way in the wilderness and I saw a porcupine, and it was grabbing flowers and then bending them all the way over and biting the top off. It was wonderful. I enjoyed it.
Oh, that's hilarious.
Yeah.
Jeremy, there's a porcupine that lives in a tree, and every single time you walk by this certain area in Deep Creek in Spokane, it's right there. So you can go find it. I could show you. We could go in adventures with Jeremy to go find this porcupine.
Right, we are doing this, everyone.
This is amazing. Do you see it? Can I go see it now? It's there now?
Probably. It's usually there.
Dana Marie? Oh my gosh.
Jeremy's like, I'm skipping weather.
Yeah,
peace.
Right. Oh man, this is going to be the best adventures with Jeremy ever. It's just going to be me looking at a porcupine. I love it. Anyway, they're telling me I need to do weather, so let's do weather. Let's get you out the door. Porcupines are awesome. Maybe I'll just throw a porcupine fun fact into every thing that we do today. 34 degrees, and did you know porcupines don't shoot their quills, they just fall out. So if you're far away from it and you don't mess with it, you don't have anything to worry about. Temperatures in the 30s and 40s this morning. We are above freezing, but I still think a few snowflakes are possible at the onset of our precipitation today, just with the way the atmosphere is primed. We've got some wind out of the south that's going to help try to fight that, so it's likely that what we saw on Monday, say in downtown, where that snow flies but melts as it hits the ground or even before it hits the ground. We've already got our clouds moving in. That's what's helping to keep us mild, that and some of the wind that we're seeing early on this morning. But those showers grow a little more widespread. We'll see those start late morning and then kind of linger into the afternoon. Similar to Monday, we could catch some breaks in the clouds and then isolated showers later on that could potentially give us a little bit of grapple. But the forecast does call for moisture through the day, keeping our temps in the 40s all day long, so we're cooler and cloudier than where we were yesterday.
I love just hearing Jeremy talk about porcupines. We'll try to encourage that as much as we can this morning. Here at 6:03, though, turning our attention now to Minneapolis and the Derek Chauvin trial. Tim Pham joining us with more information. Tim.
Yeah, Joshua, the jury is now seated for the upcoming trial. Derek Chauvin is the former Minneapolis police officer charged with killing George Floyd. So the jury was seated Tuesday. It's made up of 2 white men, 3 black men, 1 black woman, and 2 multiracial women and 6 white women. They'll decide if Chauvin committed a crime and when he restrained Floyd during an arrest last year, which led to Floyd's death. Now, Chauvin is also facing a third-degree murder charge, which means causing someone's death by perpetrating an act eminently dangerous without regard for human life. We expect opening statements in the trial to begin on Monday.
Looking to a local big story this morning, Spokane's Cottage Cafe is opening up today. For the first time, the restaurant is opening since the pandemic restrictions went into place. With phase 3 starting, the owner of Cottage Cafe decided it was time to get their customers back in the door. Now, they did decide to stay closed through the ups and downs of the early restrictions, but Chef Marty Newberry says they wanted to make sure it was safe for their employees and their customers to return before they reopened. Now the vaccine's rolling out and restrictions are loosening. Cottage Cafe says they're excited to start serving Spokane again.
How excited?
Yeah.
You can't hardly keep them on the floor. They're pretty happy. The phone's ringing off the hook.
Employees were working hard all day yesterday to get ready for this big opening. They had to get all new food, they had to clean their building, and they had to make sure everything was up and running after the year of being closed. Newberry says that they will be open with just 50% capacity, and they can do it because of their low food costs since they make most of their food from scratch in-house. They're opening today at 7 a.m., so just under an hour for dine-in and takeout, and they'll be open until 2. They do expect it to be busy today. While Cottage Cafe is not the only place opening up in phase 3, we also know about Chaps, Casper Fry, and Satellite Diner all planning on opening up too. Phase 3 of Washington's reopening plan went into effect on Monday, and restaurants are now allowed to open at that 50% capacity.
All right, at 6:05, it's time for your morning rush. More news in less time.
Spokane police have arrested a man in the downtown area after threatening someone with a knife.
Yeah, when police arrived, they found the victim uninjured, but the suspect refused to put down the knife. Police say they tried negotiating with him, but eventually fired a flash bomb to distract the suspect. They then shot the suspect with rubber bullets, according to police. The suspect has been taken to jail for second-degree assault.
The Senate could vote to ease access to Washington's Death with Dignity law. The measure already passed the House, and now the law allows some terminally ill patients to get a lethal dose of medication from a physician. The Senate is looking at a measure that would shorten some wait periods for those requests. It would also let some experts who are not physicians sign off on at least part of the requests. Medications could also be delivered by mail. Supporters say removing the barriers will ease suffering, but opponents say it gets rid of safeguards for assisted suicide.
Well, Seattle police, along with Homeland Security, seized $4 million worth of fake oxycodone pills laced with fentanyl. They carried out several raids in Bellevue on Tuesday, seizing more than 400,000 of the counterfeit painkillers that often play a role in overdose deaths.
So to get this many pills from what we would consider to be a distributor level is very significant and is great because it means we're keeping them out of the hands of people who would be the ones who are actually taking them and putting them at risk of overdosing and dying.
Police also seized nearly $250,000 in cash, 77 pounds of meth, and about 2 pounds each of heroin and cocaine. Police wouldn't say how many people they arrested, calling it an ongoing investigation.
Police across the state fear a proposed state law could put their officers at risk. Legislators are debating a bill to prohibit law enforcement agencies from acquiring retired military equipment. 30 agencies across the state, including Aberdeen Police, have MRAPs, mine-resistant ambush-protected vehicles. The military donates to the departments. If the bill passes, police departments would have to return the vehicles to the Army. Critics say there is no need for equipment designed for war zones to be used in American neighborhoods, but police chiefs and sheriffs say it could be life-saving.
And I also recognize the sensitivity of military equipment with law enforcement. This piece of equipment, though, is in my opinion, a necessity to safeguard our officers and deputies who need that type of protection in certain situations.
Now you're hearing from a chief who says Aberdeen uses its MRAP about 6 times a year, typically on hostage situations or when trying to arrest people with specific weapons.
We'll take a look at this. The world's largest firefighting airplane is back in Washington state. It can hold fire retardant gel, water, and can drop more than 19,000 gallons onto fires. Now, the state lands commissioner wants to see more of these tankers available.
Well, so what happened last year during the firestorm, I'm not begging for air resources and keep coming up empty from the federal government.
The aircraft would be too expensive for Washington to contract for itself. Hillary Franz suggests Washington work with other states in the region.
And that is your Morning Rush. More news in less time. Let us know what's happening in your neighborhood by using the hashtag #UpWithKREM on social media.
And still ahead on Up with KREM this morning, Gonzaga will play Creighton in the Sweet 16. After the break, we're breaking down how both teams' road to the championship could be historic for the tournament.
And Dana Marie, one more porcupine fun fact for you this morning. All right, temperatures are staying in the 40s today, and we've got a mix of rain, snow, and even a little grapple. But as we head off to break, baby porcupines are called porcupets. Ah, yeah, right. Right? Yeah, that's a true story. Porcupets. Look it up.